Who, if anyone, is the responsible party with respect to culture, or which is to say, not museums and things like that, but I mean the living ethos or dwelling of a people? For example, the gypsies as they exist in Eastern Europe. So Zizek has mentioned in Slovenia, the gypsy community has realized that it will soon go extinct de facto for the reason that they have been forbidden to carry out arranged marriages. Arranged marriages was a large feature in Eastern Europe in general, much longer than it was in the West, and it finally gave way only in the time of Jane Austen, let's say. Of course, you still hear about that with families where there's a lot of money involved in the marriage, as in the recent Gucci House of Gucci movie. So, what would Zizek say there, where he's saying now, one cannot say my country right or wrong. This kind of, as far as they know, that was popularized in the Vietnam era, so it has kind of a nasty flavor to it for anyone who's a little bit liberal, I guess, including Zizek himself. But he says instead of that, one must, implying that Russia is the country, and then the Operation Z, or the special military operation, or the, if you state it negatively, the invasion of Ukraine, or the invasion of Ukraine in order to stop Ukrainian citizens from their revolution or turn towards the West. That so-called dignity, this word dignity that Samuel Moyn, for instance, studies, the so-called dignity revolution, which is mixed up with all the talk about liberal democracy and Fukuyamaism, and this form as being seen as the final form. So Zizek both says this can't be the final form. He doesn't agree with it. America isn't the final answer. The best thing he can see is England, and England is, he understands, is the furthest thing away from the Balkans, especially when the Balkans stop being Christian and become Muslim. That would be the deepest form of the black pit of occultism and what would it be, obscurantism, and translated into living terms, real misery of real people, according to Zizek's view. So he's actually against the so-called Habermas, who's kind of close to Fukuyama in this, and saying the West is the model, but yet he says Dugin is absolutely wrong, and Dugin and Putin should be marginalized and ignored. Although he's started to mention Dugin now, and he's even said, of course, I suppose richly ironically, that he speaks of the God philosopher Dugin, which is a sheerly awesome title, I think. But what are we? Who is supposed to be the agent responsible for seeing whether the culture goes extinct or doesn't go extinct? And can any one person come in and say that? So there's a big problem here in that, say, imagine a case where amidst the gypsy community, or however they should rightly be called, you got some CIA agents or whoever it was came in and started agitating and started saying, you ought to, we'll give you this and this and this advantage if you come